It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Thursday. Believe it or not, there is snow on the way again this evening for most of us in the Ozarks. This is going to continue through the late hours tonight, overnight, and not end until about midday tomorrow. Yes, more road impacts are likely. It's just been a wintry week here in the Ozarks, and today is no exception. Before the winter weather gets here, though, I think temperatures will actually get above the freezing point today. So that's progress. And I know the road conditions are improving in many areas, that we're holding on to a lot of those slick spots, particularly in our northern counties. Well, now we're going to put a little more snow on top of that. The difference with this system is that the higher impacts are actually still expected to fall in the southern Ozarks. So northern Arkansas, places that are under a winter storm warning, and then the rest of the Ozarks under a winter weather advisory with a couple inches of snow that look possible. Temperatures above freezing, but during the snowfall event, I think we are below freezing. And the precip type, unlike last time, this time I think all of this falls as snow showers. We're on the north side of this low pressure system, so pretty good shot for us to see some snowfall out of this. But the main event, or the heaviest snowfall, is actually stretching all the way from portions of Texas back up through Oklahoma, down through portions of northern Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, into northern Georgia. So places that don't often see accumulating snowfall are going to get a little taste of winter as we wrap up the work week and head into the weekend as well. I think in the Ozarks, precip type here is all snowfall for us, and it likely begins this evening in our western counties. We could see some snow showers flying around the sunset time frame, but I think it's more likely as we get closer to 10 p.m. tonight for the Springfield metro area. Those snow showers will remain on the radar as we head through the overnight hours, and it'll still be snowing when you wake up on Friday morning. There's not a whole lot of snow in the forecast for the Springfield area. I'm thinking anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, higher totals where you may get up to 4 or 5, even 6 in the higher elevations of the Boston Mountains. That happens in extreme southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. Northern counties, maybe a dusting to an inch, close to 2 inches up around Lake of the Ozarks region. It's not going to be a major snowstorm, but it will be enough to cause some road impacts on Friday morning. So make sure you check the school closings list tomorrow morning, because I do expect that we'll have some slick areas, especially on places that are still not clear from the snowfall round that we had come through just earlier this week. I do expect more impacts, though, in the southern Ozarks, so that's kind of a change from the forecast last time. Best opportunity to see that snowfall accumulate is going to be along and south of Highway 60. I do expect that we'll hold on to some of these winter headlines and advisories through midday on Friday, and temperatures start to regulate a little bit as we head closer to the weekend. We have generally dry conditions starting in the Ozarks on Saturday, and that will likely last through about Tuesday of next week, and temperatures during this time frame look near normal as well. High temp today in Springfield, 38 degrees. Tonight, we're back into the teens. That's during the snowfall event, and we'll struggle to make it above freezing in a lot of locations tomorrow. By the weekend, I think we're back to the low 40s for highs, both Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully a couple of dry days with some sunshine will do us some good in the melting department. Around the country, what's making headlines? Well, it's the big winter storm that's impacting not just us, but much of the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. As I mentioned, that's going to be making national news headlines through the weekend. Also, at the same time, we have light to moderate snow happening for portions of the northern Rockies and the northern plains, and those wildfires still not out, still raging in portions of Southern California. Awful footage coming out of California with those wildfires. The good news in the forecast is that today those Santa Ana winds died down a bit, so at least it will be not as windy, which will hopefully help the first responders and the firefighters contain the spread of some of those just devastating wildfires happening out in Southern California. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. Have you ever looked at one of these under a microscope? How many sides does a snowflake have? Yes, they all have the same number. Do you think it is A, 6, B, 8, C, 9, or D, 12? Well, every single snowflake has 6 sides. It always has 6 sides because there is water molecules in ice crystals. They naturally arrange themselves in a hexagon structure, meaning that each snowflake has 6 points or arms. Always, however, they all do appear a little bit different. While snowflakes always have 6 sides, their intricate details and the branch patterns differ greatly depending on the atmospheric conditions that they formed under. So, if it's dry air, if it is moist air, because of the slight variations in their journey through the air, no two snowflakes are ever exactly the same. They are fascinating. That was one of my favorite things to do as a kid. Watch, those big, huge snowflakes fall and then look at the pattern that they create. Gorgeous. But congrats if A6 was your answer. Here's another winter trivia question. Who wrote the play A Winter's Tale? Do you think that was A, Ernest Hemingway, B, William Shakespeare, C, Oscar Wilde, or D, Arthur Miller? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening this morning to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. I sure appreciate you starting out your day here, even though I didn't have great news with the additional winter weather in the forecast. Again, 1 to 3 inches of snowfall expected in Springfield starting this evening, lasting through midday on Friday. You could have some tricky travel tomorrow morning, thanks to our sponsors, John's Heating and Air and Command Family Medicine. You can also check out the website for an up-to-the-minute forecast all day long. That's aroundtheozarks.com.